Hello from me, Fay Davies, Business Development Manager at Plymouth Science Park. As part of our celebrations for World Space Week 2021, we're speaking to women who are out of this world. Firstly, thank you for joining me. I'll launch straight in with our quick fire questions. So who are you?
My name is Melissa Thorpe and I'm the head of Spaceport Cornwall.
So what do you do?
So I head up the Spaceport project here at Cornwall Airport Newquay, where I run my team of amazing individuals to deliver the first ever satellite launch from UK soil early next year. I work closely with all our stakeholders, of which there are many, including Richard Branson's Virgin Orbit, the UK Space Agency, Goonhilly, Cornwall Council, and many more.
So are you working just at Newquay at the moment, or are you on the road quite a lot?
We are at Newquay most of the time. We have been throughout the pandemic, mainly because we're operational, we're building new facilities. But in pre-pandemic, I was traveling a lot, and it's starting to pick up a little bit again soon. So a lot of that's just up to London, but our clients mainly over in the US. I am over there quite a bit as well.
Cool. So how did you get into your line of work?
A very non-traditional way, I guess you would say. I grew up in the middle of nowhere in Canada, very rural town. I always kind of loved looking up at the stars, but there wasn't really any opportunities where I lived. I ended up going into economics and I studied economics. I moved over to London to attend the London School of Economics, which was my dream school to do my master's there. And I focused on aerospace economics. And once I graduated from that, Cornwall Council had just bought the airport down here from the MOD, and we're looking for people to come down and support that transition. So I moved down and I was looking at business activity on the airport, not just the passenger services. So I really was looking at new technologies that could use the airport for economic development, really. And then Spaceport came knocking in 2014. So I was moved over onto that project right from the beginning.
Sounds like a great fit. So tell me about the impact that your work is having.
It's huge. And I think up until recently, it's kind of been under the radar of what we've been doing. There's been a lot of, establishing the foundations of this project, getting the funding in place, getting the infrastructure ready, a lot of procurement. So it's been a lot of hard work behind the scenes, and we're now just starting to see the fruits of that. So looking at hiring. So, coming out of the pandemic, we're about to employ 150 people in Cornwall in the space industry. That doesn't come along any day in any rural location. But my passion and what I really believe in is, using space to benefit life on Earth. So we're building a new facility called the Center for Space Technologies, where we'll have academia, SMEs coming to collaborate and work together in R&D that will help solve some of the greatest challenges we face here on Earth. But right down to, I was just up at the spaceport today with a group of students through. We are all about, my team wake up every single day because we want to go out and inspire the next generation to get into not necessarily the space industry, but into a STEM career, especially girls. And that is what we do every single day when we can. We have a full outreach project running alongside this project as well.
Fantastic. So how can we encourage more women into space?
I think it's just, putting women in front of them to tell them their journey. So today, for instance, I had colleagues over from Virgin Orbit from California, 3 women. So standing in front of the school was 4 women in the space industry. And when we asked if there's any questions, usually it takes a while to, kind of warm the crowd up, but it was all girls that put their hand up. And one of them approached us afterwards and she said to us, look, I never would have imagined there would be 4 women talking to us today. And she just couldn't believe it. And we said, yeah, she just expected it always to be about men being in the industry. And we said, it is changing. It's not there yet. But so showing that there are women out there doing these jobs. And I think for me, it's really important that I talk about my journey into the industry because I'm not an astrophysicist. I'm not an astronaut. I came at it from a kind of a different route. And I think that's important to get across to a lot of young girls is you don't have to be, really science focused now with space. You can come at it from a creative side, a social sciences side. There's so much opportunity there. So I think that's important to start to tell those stories.
Yeah. So what advice would you give to women interested in working in the space sector?
I think it's just take what you're passionate about and apply it to space, because that's exactly what space is doing. It's across every industry, every pretty much thing we do from the minute we wake up, and our phones are the ones that we reach for. That's space technology. Going to the ATM, whatever you're interested in, there is probably an application for space technology to either improve what you're doing or you can get involved in. So just, have a think. And I think it's really, these days, it's all about that passion for what you're doing with your life, and having a purpose with that. So we're very purpose driven as a team. We're here to create access to space to benefit life on Earth. And that gets us through the hard days. So I guess, doing what you're passionate about, but definitely have a purpose. And you can do that in the space industry.
Melissa, that's been brilliant talking. Thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you.